SRT Whips and Flips back with another video. So if you guys did just see that video, this is my 1988 Corvette C4. I believe this is a C4. Not a big Corvette guy. Anyway, we're just going to call it a Corvette C4, guys. So this vehicle I did purchase from a buddy of mine. Did end up getting this car for a good price because it's just been sitting and he hasn't been driving it. He has roughly about 8 different vehicles, so he wasn't, too worried about keeping this vehicle, and I was lucky enough to purchase it. And I do have some receipts of everything that's done to this car. So today we're going to be going over everything that's done to this car. I have over $15,000 worth of receipts, so today we're going to be going over them. Okay guys, so the first thing is a Blueprint 380. This is a 383. It does have a cam in it, a roller cam, making 420 horsepower, 450 foot-pounds of torque, naturally aspirated, with a polished intake manifold with a Holley sniper kit. So this car was carbureted. It did get swapped over to fuel injected. The sniper EFI is right here. The Holley intake with a quad carburetor. And this is a Blueprint 383 from Summit Racing. So that's pretty exciting. This motor does make 420 horsepower, 450 foot-pounds of torque. And it probably does make a little bit more because it does have other aftermarket parts. Okay guys, so that 383 V8 Blueprint engine from Summit Racing did total $4,050. So it was $4,050 for that. It did get the dash cluster rebuilt. That was $510. The polished intake manifold was $273. The Holley sniper kit, which turns the car from carbureted to fuel injected with this handy scanner right here, that was $1,000. The next item is the door panels. So if you guys look, these doors are pretty clean. The car's just very dirty. Same over there. Door panels very clean. The door panels totaled up to $480. So door panels on both sides were rebuilt. They just, need cleaned up. It's an older car. He just let the car sit, so it sat for a long time. He never even cleaned it up. The next thing that got done is hooks headers. So it did get hooks headers. The whole kit was $882. The front and rear shocks were replaced for $112. The next item we have is front and rear drilled and slotted rotors. Those were $300 with upgraded brake pads. It also did get braided steel lines for the brake lines, and then the calipers are painted white. So to get the calipers painted white, that was another $30. Or I'm sorry, to paint the calipers white, it was $100 for all 4. Water pump was replaced for $46. It did get a new battery put in, which this battery is junk because my buddy Chris has let this car sit forever. So the battery, whenever they did put it in, was $194. Now it's worth 0 because it doesn't work. Okay. So the air pump delete pulley and bracket kit was $110. It did get 8mm spark plug wires. The spark plug wires were $43. That's just to make sure that the car is not misfiring. It did get valve cover breather for $13. Just little things here and there. straight 3-inch exhaust pipe clamps, air cleaners, new serpentine belt. What else? Longer upper radiator hose. Most likely whenever they put the new motor in, the hose was not long enough, so they just had to get a new hose for it. Did get a wheel alignment after all that. They have aluminum control arms on here. Let me see. Okay, so now we're going to get to the good stuff. So the speedometer drive gear, it's 15 teeth to correct the speedometer because the transmission was sent out to get rebuilt by Cyclone Trans in downtown Canton. I am located in Ohio, so it did get the trans sent out to get rebuilt, as well as it did get the gearing in the rear end changed as well. To send the transmission out, it was $1,530 to rebuild the transmission. So it did get the transmission replaced, new trans fluid, rear end did get built. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to go over a couple of the receipts with you guys. I have bunch of receipts for this vehicle. I'm gonna go ahead and fire it up so you guys can hear it, and then we're going to take it on a test drive. Okay guys, so now I'm going to take the car on a test drive. These headlights actually do work. I'm going to show you guys real quick. So that usually never works on these older Corvettes, as well as the hatch does pop. It does have a magna flow exhaust. Keep in mind this car does weigh roughly about 3,100 to 3,200 pounds with at least 420 horsepower, so we are going to be careful. This thing sounds mean. The cam sounds great. The exhaust sounds great. The engine sounds... Oh man, I love this thing. Okay. Transmission does shift. Suspension feels great. The brakes do feel pretty low. That could be from a brake bleed. It could also need brake fluid because it has sat for a while, but it does stop. Is it good enough to stop a 420 horsepower car? No, it's very sketchy. But we're gonna go ahead and we're going to give it a pull. Oh, it sounds good. 3, 2, 1. Oh, and it corners great. Oh man, this thing pulls really good. Okay guys, so I did want to go over this 1980 Corvette, a 1988 35th anniversary Corvette. I did get this vehicle for $3,000. So that's right, I did get this vehicle for $3,000. It's been sitting for roughly about 2 to 3 years. Like I said, buddy sold it to me. He had all the receipts of everything that he did to it and just never drove it. It just sat. So I got the chance, the opportunity to buy it. And go! This is a great car. Okay guys, that is it for today's video. If you guys have any questions, comment down below. Have a great day, guys.